Hello and welcome to another video, and today I'm making an introduction to a trip report that I never thought I'd be able to make. In the last few days I went over 100,000 subscribers here on YouTube. That's just a mind-boggling number, and thank you to every single one of you guys who has liked one of my videos enough to head down to the bottom and click the subscribe button. Thank you so much. The encouragement I get from seeing people subscribe to my channel every day cannot be underestimated. Thank you so much, and it's a real honor to be sitting here in 2019 with 100,000 subscribers and to be able to tell you guys that. Now, with that out of the road, I'd also really like to thank all of my patrons. My patrons who make regular donations through Patreon are one of the reasons why I've been able to upgrade my gear and do a lot of things in the last year and a half that I wouldn't normally have been able to do. So thank you so much, and this video is dedicated specifically to you guys. I recently went over another fundraising goal on my Patreon site of $1,000 per month. Again, incredible success I never thought I would have, and thank you so much if you are one of those guys. So on to today's video. It's going to be on United Airlines Boeing 787 Dreamliner heading from Denver to San Francisco. Now, for those of you that were around last year for my world tour content, I actually took this trip in the middle of all of that stuff that I was doing in America, but I'd already had two pretty successful videos about United Airlines. One in particular went kind of semi-viral, where I was kind of reviewing the product and saying that it wasn't too great. So I kind of held back on pushing this video out then because I didn't really want to be putting out too much of the same content. But now the time has come, and it's hopefully going to provide a bit of variety to some of the stuff that I've been doing in the last few weeks. So I hope you enjoy the video. Thank you again for 100,000 subscribers. Let's roll the tape. Enjoy the trip. Denver is one of United's 7 US hubs. Connecting passengers through the central Midwest and towards the western United States, United flew about 26 million passengers from Denver last year. United's check-in desks were pretty busy even at the early hour of 5:30 a.m. I was therefore fortunate that with my domestic first-class ticket, I got Premier Access. Among other things, this means that you can access a dedicated check-in area, and therefore I didn't have to wait in line. Premier Access also includes priority security lanes and priority boarding. Denver is now regularly winning awards for customer satisfaction, and this and its geographical location in the Midwest make it an excellent choice of hub for United Airlines. I was also intrigued to see tornado shelters listed on the passenger signage. As a British person, I wasn't actually sure that tornadoes came this far west. There is one big downside to Denver Airport though. It's truly vast. It's the largest by land area in the United States and the second largest international airport in the world. Bring your walking boots. United Airlines are also the dominant carrier here, and you'll see pretty much every single type of aircraft that United owns on a typical day at Denver Airport. Fortunately for me, I've booked on one of the routes that United regularly operates with a wide-body aircraft. Denver to San Francisco on the day I travelled was being operated with this Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner. The 787 is fast becoming the mainstay of United's long-haul operation. One of the quirks about flying in the US is that even if you buy a domestic first-class ticket, this, in and of itself, doesn't grant you access to the lounge. United has several United clubs at Denver, but I couldn't enter any of them. The way that airlines work in the US is just very different to how they work in Europe. Priority boarding has always raised a smile with me whenever I've been travelling. United have one of the simpler boarding processes of all the US legacy carriers, with just 5 boarding groups. One of United's more elderly 777-200s pulls up alongside us. Now, I'll be travelling on one of these later this year, and I'll be putting out a trip report on that too. Thank you. Now, I get lots of questions about my travel plans for the months ahead. I do have a website, and in there is my schedule. That includes all of my flights that I have booked for the year ahead. I hope you'll enjoy checking it out and looking at my plans. Good morning. Hi. United's 787-8s have a 2-2-2 configuration. This is great if you're travelling as a couple, but if, like me, you're on your own, it does mean that you'll have to step over somebody you don't know to access the aisle if you choose a window seat. The seat and the upholstery now look really dated on this 787-8. United has a 787-10 with brand new Polaris seating, and I'll be trying that in just a couple of months' time. A quick seat selection tip for you on this aircraft: the bulkhead seats in row 1 have a full-size footrest. Non-bulkhead seats don't have that because the footrest has to fit in with the seat in front. In common with the competition, there is a pre-departure drink served on this flight, but it is in a plastic cup. This has never struck me as a particularly first-class thing to do. United has some pretty soothing mood lighting on its 787 aircraft. I really love this colour, it's a very relaxing tone to have before takeoff. The airline also provides complimentary headphones for the in-flight entertainment for first-class passengers. On departure, we're treated to some spectacular views of the local area and Denver downtown itself. Let's take a quick look at today's route. Denver to San Francisco is 968 miles, and the flight takes us around 2 hours and 5 minutes at 35,000 feet. This flight goes straight over the Rocky Mountains, a beautiful, beautiful mountain range in the west of America. The mountains do make the ride a bit choppy though. The tray table deploys from the side of the seat like this. However, because it's a fold-out table, it means that some of the table is on a hinge and it's not very sturdy. However, the main bugbear I have about the seat on United Airlines is the location of the power sockets. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but I find it very difficult to access these power sockets, which are located behind the shoulder, without actually unbelting myself and standing up. If you've travelled in these seats yourself, let me know if it's just me or whether you've had the same problem. Now, I was sitting in seat 1A and had my order taken first out of anybody else on the aircraft. However, when I ordered the eggs for breakfast, the flight attendant said she had to make sure she still had some left at the end. Now, this is complete nonsense. I know exactly what's going on here. It's something that happens on a lot of airlines and isn't something that United have made up themselves. Basically, once they've taken all the passengers' orders, the crew then go back into the galley and prioritise meal orders by your frequent flyer status. Now, I am really not a fan of this, even though I end up a winner most of the time. It's just not the kind of service you'd expect anywhere that would serve you food. You wouldn't even expect it in a McDonald's. McDonald's also has better eggs than United Airlines, I can definitely vouch for that. This was my third of 3 flights with United Airlines in the US last year, and I have to say, on all 3 flights, I was disappointed with the food. However, there's always a consolation. The approach into San Francisco from pretty much any direction is absolutely beautiful, and I'll leave you with the scenery as we approach. So to sum up, this flight cost me £232 one way. That's about $300 US. My main motivations for taking this flight in first class were firstly to build up some miles and status with my Air New Zealand AirPoints frequent flyer card, and secondly because I just wanted to check out a new product and have the novelty of flying in a premium cabin on a 787. One of the cold hard facts about flying domestically in the United States is that most people in the first class cabin are frequent flyers there on upgrade certificates. If, like me, you're going to use cash to buy a domestic first-class ticket in the United States, I definitely recommend having realistic expectations and considering carefully what value buying that fare is going to bring you. I'll close the video here and thank you again for 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'll be back again in a few days with another video, but until then, see you around.